As soon as Farma reaches his father's office, his father tells him, "Quickly pack your bag. We have to go to the royal kingdom." The scene then shifts, and we see the next day that Farma and his father have reached the royal kingdom. Here, we learn that the princess's condition is extremely critical, and she is on the verge of death, which is why the world's best pharmacists have been called to examine her. Gradually, each of the pharmacists checks the princess, but her illness is so complicated that they all give up, saying they can't treat her. Among them is Farma's father, who also declares that he cannot cure her. Farma then begins to wonder what kind of disease this is that no one can treat. He uses his divine eye to scan the queen and discovers that she has tuberculosis. In this disease, no medicine works on the patient, and they can only be saved by injections. But in this world, injections don't even exist, so how can they be saved? As Farma is thinking about all this, the queen's children come into the room, crying, and tell their mother, "Mom, you can't leave us. We can't live without you." Seeing them cry, Farma loses control and rushes to the queen, requesting, "Can I try to treat you? I have a medicine that can cure you." Everyone is shocked to hear this and tells him, "Boy, don't disturb the queen." His father also says, "Farma, don't do something so foolish that it causes the queen more harm." But the queen says, "All right, I give you permission to treat me because everyone else has given up. You are my last hope." Hearing this, Farma goes straight to his lab and seals the door with ice magic so no one can enter. He then starts making the medicine. Meanwhile, his father arrives outside shouting, "Farma, do you know what you're doing? If something goes wrong, it could have terrible consequences for you." But Farma pays no attention to his father's words. Furious, his father breaks down the door and enters, yelling at him to stop. However, Farma ignores him and continues his work. His father, in anger, attacks Farma with ice magic in an attempt to stop him. To avoid the attack, Farma creates a shield and cancels it out, forming an ice barrier between them. Seeing this, his father is extremely shocked and begins to wonder how Farma used magic without a magical stick. He asks Farma, "Who are you?" as he starts suspecting something. His eyes then fall on Farma's research diary, and he opens it to read. He asks Farma, "What is all this?" Farma explains that these are formulas for new medicines that came to him in dreams while he was in a coma, and he memorized them. Hearing this, his father says, "Ah, I see. I noticed the mark on your shoulder, and now I understand that you've been blessed by the god of medicine, which is why you're having these dreams. All right, I trust you. Do your work." And with that, he leaves. Farma then starts making the medicine. After it's ready, the next day he takes the medicine to the royal kingdom. Before giving the medicine to the princess, he explains to her that her illness was caused by an infection, and she might need to take this medicine for 1 to 2 years, so she must be prepared. He then takes a blood sample from her and shows her the bacteria under his microscope, which leaves everyone astonished. Afterward, Farma prepares 2 glasses of the medicine. He drinks one himself and gives the other to the queen, saying, "Now both our fates depend on this medicine." However, nothing happens to either of them, and a little while later, the queen starts feeling better. Seeing this, all the pharmacists begin praising Farma. Farma then returns to his mansion with his father. We are then shown a scene 9 months later, where Farma visits the queen for a checkup and tells her that she is slowly recovering. The queen then tells him, "I had given up hope of living. I felt like I was going to die, but one person reignited the will to live within me, and it wasn't anyone else but my youngest son, who gave me a new ray of hope." Hearing this, Farma feels extremely happy and, as he leaves, tells her to take care of herself. The next scene shows Farma and his father, dressed in fine clothes, arriving at the royal kingdom. Because today, the queen is going to give them respect. First, it is Farma's father's turn. The queen stands before her throne and honors Farma's father. Then it's Farma's turn, and he too is honored. Along with the respect, he is given the title of royal pharmacist. The queen tells him that he can now open his pharmacy anywhere in the royal capital. Hearing this, Farma is overjoyed because his dream is coming true. Afterward, Farma returns home and calls in an entire team of carpenters so he can open his pharmacy as quickly as possible. but he starts thinking about what to name his pharmacy. He ponders deeply, and then a name comes to his mind. He says, "We will name the pharmacy the Parallel World Pharmacy." Hearing this name, everyone gets excited and work on the pharmacy begins. The carpenters come together and prepare a signboard for Farma's pharmacy, which reads, "The Parallel World Pharmacy." Just then, Ellen arrives, and upon seeing the name of the pharmacy, she becomes very happy. She tells Farma, "The name is really good." Blushing, Farma replies, "Thank you for your opinion." Ellen then asks Farma a bit about the pharmacy. Suddenly, a man shows up and asks Farma, "Are you an employee here or the boss?" To this, Farma replies, "I'm the boss here." The man, surprised, says, "Oh wow, you became the boss at such a young age. But I have a great deal for you. Would you like to collaborate with me?" Farma responds, No, I'm not interested. I don't want to work with you." The man then says, "You'll regret this. Just collaborate with me. What will you even earn from this anyway?" To which Farma replies, "What is there for me to earn? I just want to distribute affordable medicine to the poor so that it benefits them." Hearing this, the man is quite shocked and says, "If you do that, your pharmacy will fail. But I'll save you. Just join my team." However, Farma refuses and the man starts forcing Farma to join. This makes Ellen angry, and she says, "Are you going to run away from here or get beaten up?" After being insulted by Ellen, the man leaves. Farma then goes inside his pharmacy and sees that there are only 2 workers, including himself. He thinks, "We need to hire more workers." Just then, Latte comes in, asking for work, saying, "I could do everything here like I do at home." So, Farma hires her, but they are still short of one person, an accountant. He wonders, who should I hire as an accountant? It should be someone with a bit of experience. Later, Farma goes home and finds that all the servants in the house are crying. He wonders, what happened to them? Why are they crying? Then, he learns that his father's accountant is retiring today because his legs hurt so much that he could barely walk. Hearing this, Farma asks him, "If I treat your legs, will you work with me?" The accountant agrees. Farma first seeks his father's permission and asks, "Can I hire the accountant who retired today to work at my pharmacy?" His father gives him permission and also hands him a chest full of gold coins to help improve the pharmacy. The next day, Farma holds the grand opening of his pharmacy. However, just because you open a new business doesn't mean customers will start coming right away. A month goes by, but no customers come to the pharmacy, except for one old man who only comes to buy a candy. This makes them very worried that Farma's parents, disguised, visit his pharmacy, but Farma recognizes them easily. He takes them inside and tells them, "My pharmacy isn't doing well at all. No customers are coming, and I'm very worried." Hearing this, his father asks, "Can you show me your pharmacy?" Farma starts showing them around, starting with the medicine room, where there are many medicines stocked. Then he shows them the bedrooms prepared for patients. After that, he asks, "Do you see any issues here?" His father replies, "There are no issues. Everything is great." Then Farma's mom suggests, "You should start making beauty products alongside medicine, which should be affordable but of high quality so that all kinds of women will buy your products." Farma really likes this suggestion. His father then adds, "If you make these products, make sure not to use any chemicals, as they can cause skin diseases." As they were in the middle of their conversation, a man comes rushing in, panicking, and asks Farma if there is a pharmacist present. A girl's condition has deteriorated significantly. Hearing this, Farma goes with him to the girl, and we see that her condition is indeed very bad. Farma uses his divine eyes to scan her and discovers that her arms have deep cuts, causing her to lose a lot of blood, which is why her condition has worsened. He brings her to his pharmacy, treats her, and then asks her why she cut her arms. The girl explains that her crush rejected her, which led her to harm herself, and she starts crying, apologizing to them for causing them so much trouble. Ellen comforts her, saying, "It's okay, just promise you won't do this again." A few days later, the girl returns to Farma's pharmacy. By then, Farma has also prepared his beauty products. He gives the girl a few samples, and after using them, she feels really happy. We then see Latte distributing some of the beauty products to other women, which helps with the marketing, and slowly, many customers begin visiting the pharmacy. Farma's beauty products are both affordable and effective, which increases their demand. Seeing the growing demand for the beauty products, Farma decides to open a separate branch where he hires several beauticians to produce even more products. Now his pharmacy is thriving and his beauty products are the talk of the town. Eventually, word reaches the queen, who summons Farma to check out his beauty products. First, Farma gives her a lip balm. As soon as she applies it, she finds her lips look incredibly beautiful, which impresses her greatly. Farma then starts explaining more about his products, and the queen tells him, "You need to raise the prices of your products because they are the cheapest on the market, and this is making other shops suffer. If this continues, they might end up bankrupt." Hearing this from the queen, Farma realizes that he may have been wrong and agrees to raise the prices. After this, we see Farma on the beach. While Farma's younger sister and Latte are playing by the beach, Ellen is sleeping in a corner. As soon as Farma's younger sister sees him, she insists on going into the water, but he refuses and says that their father had forbidden them from going into the water. However, Latte and his younger sister keep insisting, and Farma, unable to stop them, gives them permission to go. Farma's sister then asks him to join them, but he declines. Hearing this, Farma starts remembering his late younger sister, and he sits down, crying heavily. Suddenly, he hears his sister screaming. He sees her drowning in the water and rushes to save her, fearing he might lose her like he lost his other sister. Without thinking, he jumps into the water and quickly swims towards her. When he reaches her, he sees that his sister is sinking deeper into the water, and even though he tries to save her, he is unable to. Frustrated, he screams out in anger, releasing a powerful force from his body that creates a huge pit in the water, leaving no water in the area. Seeing this, Farma himself becomes scared of his own powers. Ellen, who is watching everything, is completely shocked to witness Farma's power. It's revealed that Farma had used a negative divine art, which only a demon is capable of using. Farma then safely brings his sister out of the water, thinking no one had witnessed what had just happened. However, he was wrong. Someone had been watching him. This person quickly informs the holy group members about what he saw, and they suspect that a monster might be responsible for all of this. To keep an eye on Farma, they send 2 agents. We then see Farma returning to his pharmacy, unaware that the holy group's agents are watching him. The next day, when a soldier returns to duty, he opens the gate and a horse, covered in dirt and trash, rushes into the pharmacy, making a mess. When Bruno hears about this, he suspects that someone may be targeting his family. The following day, when Farma arrives at his pharmacy to clean up, some of his old customers come with their crew to help him, and some townspeople also arrive to lend a hand. Suddenly, a panicked girl approaches Farma and tells him that her father has fallen unconscious, urging him to come quickly. Farma quickly grabs all his medical equipment and follows her. The girl leads him into a deserted forest, but as soon as they arrive, she vanishes. Farma is completely confused by what's happening, and suddenly, some people dressed in white surround him. It turns out that they are members of the holy group, led by a man named Solomon, who believes that Farma harbors a demon, and they have come to exorcise it. They attempt to attack him, but Farma easily blocks all of their attacks. Though Farma is much stronger than them and could easily defeat them, he holds back, knowing that if he uses his full power, he could kill them. Despite this, the holy group members don't give up, and Farma is forced to give them a glimpse of his powers. Seeing his immense strength, they realize how outmatched they are. At that moment, Solomon notices a symbol on Farma's hand and tells his men to stop, declaring that Farma is not a monster, but their god. Hearing this, the members of the holy group stop attacking and start apologizing to Farma. However, during the fight, Solomon is badly injured with a dangerous wound. Farma tells him that he cannot leave him in this condition, as the wound could become infected and kill him. Solomon responds that because he attacked Farma, he deserves this punishment. But being a doctor, Farma cannot leave an injured person to die. He tells Solomon that he will have to perform surgery on him immediately. The only problem is that Farma was a medical scientist in his previous life, not a surgeon, and no one else there knows how to perform surgery. So, Farma decides to use his knowledge and perform the surgery himself. He sets up an emergency tent and begins the operation. Fortunately, the surgery is successful, and a few months later, Solomon makes a full recovery. After recovering, Solomon is promoted within the holy group. He later visits Farma at his pharmacy and tells him that because Farma saved his life, he will keep his secret safe. Solomon brings many gifts for Farma, one of which is a holy stick that he gives him as a gift. As soon as Farma picks up the stick, it starts glowing. Solomon tells him that the stick has chosen him. Ellen, excited by this, asks Farma if she can hold the stick. Farma hands it to her, but the stick passes right through her hands. This reveals that the stick can only be held by the person it has chosen.